Hi guys, my name is Ovias and today we are going to talk about how to improve your vocabulary in English and in any language, and we are going to talk about the tips and tricks that I used over the course of time. If you are interested in this topic and in this video, please stay with us and I will give you my own tips and tricks. Let's go to the video. My number one advice is that you have to listen, watch, and listen. What I mean by saying this, I think that when you are listening to some talk, when you are watching some videos, movies, serials, or other things like that, you constantly and automatically enhance your vocabulary. I did the same. When I started my English learning journey, my level was beginner and I started watching YouTube videos. At first, I didn't understand any single word. I just watched this video, but over the course of time, I felt and noticed that watching videos or listening to talks really helped me to improve my vocabulary. For example, if I watch TED Talks or BBC or CNN documentaries, I improve my academic vocabulary. But when I watch, for example, Ellen Show, TV show, Jimmy Fallon's TV show, or movies, I improve my everyday language vocabulary. So this leads to my next point. My second advice is that you have to balance what you learn. What I mean by saying that you have to balance what you learn. So if you want to have deep knowledge in certain language, if you want to speak fluently and coherently English or any other language, you have to balance your casual everyday vocabulary and your academic vocabulary. For example, if you learn tons of academic words, you can easily understand newspapers, you can easily understand BBC, CNN, you can easily pass TOEFL or IELTS exam. But when it comes to speaking with foreigners and people who speak everyday English, you are like, oh my god, I don't understand any word. I don't understand anything that you say.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I believe this.
And it's normal because academic vocabulary and everyday vocabulary are really different from one another. On the other hand, if you just learn everyday vocabulary, it will be very hard for you to understand academic talks, TED Talks, CNN, BBC, or other things like that. So this was my second tip. My third advice is very helpful and important too. When you are studying something, no matter it's science, art, or languages, you have to make the process funny. You have to make everything exciting, and you have to be and feel happy during this process. I did the same. I make my vocabulary studying process really funny, really exciting. I used flashcards and I wrote all the words on these flashcards. There are two kinds of flashcards, paper flashcards and online flashcards. I used both types of flashcards. I think that paper flashcards are more beneficial because when you are writing something on paper, you first of all learn the spelling of this certain word, and then this word is typed in your brain permanently. It's really helpful. But if you run out of time, if you have to get ready for exam, you can use online flashcards. I used Quizlet. This was really a helpful app. I will leave the link of Quizlet on my description box. Please check it out. And now I will show my paper flashcards. These are my offline flashcards or paper flashcards that I used. So you can here see I wrote lots of words, and on the other side of the paper I wrote the definition of certain words, and it's really helpful. But for example, when I was preparing for my TOEFL exam, I didn't have enough time. I ran out of my time, so I was not able to write these 2,000 words. By the way, I want to say that I learned 2,000 words in just 4 months for preparing TOEFL. I didn't have any time for writing every single word on the paper, and this is why I use online flashcards. So if you prepare for exam, you can use Quizlet or other apps. So my number four advice is that you don't have to translate certain words into your own language. Try to learn the definition of the word. I can ensure that learning definition is more advantageous because I used both ways when I had lots of time and when I was studying lots of words for my fun, not because I had to pass certain exam. I was writing the definition of the word, and I felt and noticed that these words were typed in my brain more deeply than the words that I just translated into my native language, Armenian. I forgot these translated words more easily than the words that I wrote with definitions. And my next advice is that you have to learn all the forms of certain words. You have to, when you learn a root, for example, when you learn a noun, you have to learn a verb, you have to learn adjective, you have to learn adverb, everything. For example, there are many ways for word milk. Milk can mean the milk that we know. And milk can, for example, cow can milk. So, and of course you have to learn synonyms and antonyms as much as possible. If you have time now, if you have energy and resources, please work hard, put effort in your vocabulary learning, because vocabulary is the skeleton of every language. My dear friends, these were all my tips and tricks that I used during my English learning journey. If you liked my advice, if you liked my tips and tricks, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe my channel, comment what I did wrong and what can I add. See you next time. Bye!